Welcome, everyone. This is our team call. Tonight is April 23rd, I think. All right, so super excited to share with you guys tonight. Thank you to Josh. He was sent me a message last week giving a suggestion for the team call, and I love that. And we talked about that last week. So if there's things that you guys are struggling with, things that you're really just don't have answers to, things that you just want more information about, send it our way to Mike or myself so we can plan for the calls, because we don't want to come in here and just talk. We want to be able to provide for you guys. So that's where we got the topic tonight of how do we find new customers outside of social media, outside of Facebook, outside of Instagram. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. But I also want everybody's input, because it's not just what I do or what Mike does. It's everyone has a different way of connecting and inviting and meeting new people. So before we start that, I just want to do a real quick couple reminders. Thursday, we have our sneak peek. Our plan is to do it every week, but we need more help. So far this week, I have Kelsey. Thank you, Kelsey. I have Denise and myself. Rachel has volunteered, but we're really trying to get different people every week. And I know some of you can't make it this Thursday, but are willing to do it. So if there's anybody else that would like to share on Thursday, I'd really appreciate it. So we need 2 more people for that. Summit, you should have got an email. There's information about the signing up. We don't have to sign up for workshops, but you will sign up for your workout. And then if you choose to get a box lunch. Mike, I know we want to probably think about, I don't know if we made a page yet, right?
No, yeah, that's definitely something we gotta get cracking on. I know we talked about it a couple months ago after the trip, and we still haven't done it yet. We still have plenty of time though.
Yeah.
The most important thing is make sure you guys have that Beachbody Events app.
Yeah, I just downloaded that today. Yeah. So yes. And anything else on Summit? So you guys will register. I think it's May 6th for everybody. Maybe can't remember the date. It just came out. But just watch for that. You want to choose your workout. Now, you guys, when you choose your workout, we all don't need to go to the same workout. If there's a particular trainer that you've never worked out with live, or if it's your favorite trainer, then choose that workout. Some of the workouts may be full by the time you have to register, but don't, if you want to plan to do a workout with somebody else, that's fine. But we're not all going to be picking the same workout.
Chris, I'm just going to piggyback on something real quick, guys. All right, so like Chris said, May 6th, and it's usually like 9 a.m. Pacific Coast time. So do not hop on the link at 6 p.m. Pacific Coast time to try to register for Joel Freeman or Jericho's workout, because they will be sold out. You guys got to be at the ready. I don't care if you're at work or if you're a teacher or you're in school. Go to the bathroom and be ready. That's who gets into the workouts, are the people, because you got 300,000 other people getting ready to jump on that workout you want to do. So you got to have your alarm set. You got to be at the ready. The tracks are easy now because you guys are all going to be in designated tracks. It's the workout. So like Chris says, we all don't have to do the same workout, but if there is a trainer you want to work out to, and if it's one of the popular ones right now, like Shaun T, Joel, Jericho, Autumn even, you got to be fast fingers, because those are going to sell out quick and you're not going to get in. So that's all I got for that one.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Many of us who is on here is doing the refresh right now, day 2. Yeah.
Yes, love it.
We're going to wrap this call up so we can go to bed and finish our last day tomorrow. Mike has been promoting, he's been sharing his journey. Well, all of us have been sharing our journey, but promoting like the next one to start May 1st. So you guys hop on board. If you have a kit and you didn't start this week and you want to get going, Mike will be setting that up.
Yep. I want to give a shout out. I know he's not on the call yet, but Mike Nelson. So he ordered his kit yesterday, talked about it, and he sold a challenge pack and a kit today. So
Ooh, awesome. Nice.
I would say by tomorrow, Thursday's the latest to get your kit in time for that May 1st kickoff. And yes, I know it's Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, but because come the weekend and stuff, unless they want to pay $80 for shipping, they're not going to have it in time. So just start talking about it. And you guys can use my story. You can use Denise's story, Chris's story, anybody else who's doing the refresh right now. That's why we're kind of doing it. And then we'll jump in this group and make sure, because that's what's going to help the team volume. And we've been talking about team volume a lot. So that's definitely something that's going to help. Oops.
And when is that on sale till? Is it the end of the month?
It's gone. The 22nd. The sale's over.
Oh, shit. Oh, shoot. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get an extra one. Well, I guess not. Oh. Okay. So that's it for announcements. Mike, is there anything else? Okay.
Cool.
All right. So getting back to our topic for the call tonight, we're talking about finding new customers. I know sometimes that's a struggle for people, and I know we've talked about Success Club and how do you get Success Club every month, and how do you get sales all the time, and it's really being in the mindset. And first, initially, when you sign up as a coach, you think about your warm market. And your warm market is your family, your friends, your coworkers, people you see all the time, people that, you're just comfortable talking to. And you kind of share with them, or they know what you're doing. And so maybe you want to hop on board. So all of a sudden you work through that warm market, and then you're like, now what? And now I've got my family, which usually don't count on family because most often they're not the go-to people, believe it or not. But you've gone through that warm market, and now what? So one of the biggest things that the company has put out, and I meant to look and I didn't, but it's good homework for you to search the coach office. It's called the Memory Jogger. That's a great way to brainstorm and come up with some different names of people. So if you haven't gone through that Memory Jogger, that could be will be very helpful to come up with some other names. And so then what happens after that? So your warm market. So for me, here I am, I sit at home all day. So how am I going to meet new people? There's stay-at-home moms who just have babies and they can't get out the door. They're not running around all over the place with a newborn. So, how are they going to do that? So initially, it may be your social media. And then from there, it's like, unless you're bringing in new people to your social media and you're really working Instagram and getting new followers, so then how do you meet people when you're out and about? And some of you work jobs where you're out and about. Some of you could be in a sales job and out all the time. Some of you could be teachers. Some of you are in business. So whatever that may be, all the time, you've got to have that mindset of, how am I going to meet new people? And in your head, like, what is your 30-second commercial, and how are you going to be able to kind of share what you do really fast? So, somebody who is an expert at this, and some of because you've been with her, is Denise McDonald. Sometimes we have to cut her off because she doesn't know when to stop talking, but she does a really good job of just initiating a conversation with people. We can be at a bar, we're in the elevator, we're at the gym, wherever it may be. We're on the beach, she walking down the street. I mean, she talks to anyone and everyone. And one thing, if you're like, well, how do you just start talking to people? Think about when you see somebody and there's got to be something about that person that sort of attracts you to them. So compliment them. Did you notice their shoes? Did you notice their earrings? Did you notice their shorts? Did you notice their sneakers? Did you notice their pocketbook? What is it that you saw and you see on them? And compliment them. Perfect example today, I'm in BJ's and I saw this woman walk in and I saw her with her flip-flops on. I'm like, oh my God, they're sparkly and glittery. And I'm like, oh my God, those are the same flip-flops I buy. And I saw her foot go up, and so I could see the name of the flip-flop on the bottom of it. And I'm like, oh my God, I said, I love your flip-flops. I said, I love Yellow Box. And then, that was just, but that's it. It didn't go any further, but just something simple like that. So you're in the grocery store line and whatever that may be. And this is the other thing. Now with technology, you guys, this is what we do. So we're down, we're buried in our phones. Okay, how are you going to meet people? Okay, we talked about outside of this, your social media, how are you going to meet people? But if you are glued to this, you're not going to meet people. So be more aware of that when you're out in public. Put the damn phone away. I am guilty as hell. I don't want to stand in line at BJ's like I was today, but I did. I didn't take my phone out of my pocketbook and check Facebook and respond to one message because I just wanted to get some work done. I left the phone aside. But we do it. We pick up our phones when we're standing there because we don't know what to do, because we don't know how to talk to people, because all we do talk to people is on social media. So really thinking about being able to put the phone down and listen. If you listen, you're home already? Oh my God, you didn't text me. If you listen, there's going to be cues that you hear from people that you can start talking to them about. And then, seriously, I'm on a 3-day refresh and he comes home with a batch of calamari and throws it in my face. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt. So, but when you're out, if somebody's like, oh, I'm so tired, they're talking about being tired all the time. They're talking about, oh my God, my eating so bad, or, whatever. There's little clues and things that could open up a conversation for you, but you've got to be listening. And you've got to always be in that mindset of, how can I meet somebody? How am I going to start to engage with them? And what are some of the things I'm going to say? My thing is, when I meet somebody, my goal is, how am I going to get connected to them? How am I going to get them on Facebook with me? How am I going to connect on Instagram? How am I going to get their phone number? Every time I meet somebody, that's my mindset. Now, if you go out and you have no intentions of that, I know some of you are like, woo, right, Kelsey? Scared to death of this stuff. And I get it. Okay, Christina, but you've got to step out of your comfort zone. You're not going to move forward in this business if you're afraid to talk to people and hiding behind your computer and your phone all day. So you've got to just be in that mindset when you go out somewhere and talk to them. Now, one thing that I find as an easy invite for me and some of you who are local here, we have a weekly fit club. I've been doing this for 8 years now, 7 or 8 years, every Wednesday. So when I talk to somebody locally, or people come home with contacts for me, and then I'll message them and I'll say, oh, by the way, did Pete tell you about the fit club I run? Simple, easy. By the way, I run this fit club on Wednesday nights. If I meet somebody in the grocery store, can I add you to our group page? Simple, easy. So think about maybe starting a fit club in your area. For those of you who are local, start utilizing it. Kelsey, Debbie, nice job. Mike, you guys all put it out there on your social media about fit club tomorrow night. And, we were at the point where we had tons of coaches and tons of people coming, and then it just dwindled because coaches aren't showing up. Coaches aren't sharing about fit club. I've been the only one. Olivia and I have probably been the most consistent that have been going. Thankfully, Joan stepped up when we were away on vacation, and she got there and she ran fit club, and she's starting to promote it. Debbie, when she's home, she's getting there. She's promoting it. Kelsey came last week. I was excited that Kelsey was there. So, but you've got to just put it out there. So that's one way, is fit club. You can also think about attending fairs and open houses in your area. Usually there's more of that in the fall and right before the holidays, but you could set up a table and present there. And that's a great way to meet people. I talk to people, well, this usually happens, but it's actually, sometimes Pete does it more. We'll be sitting at the table at a restaurant, and, I'll say, oh, can I have the dressing on the side? No cheese, no croutons, blah, 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 the whole deal. And then he's like, oh, she's a fitness and health coach, she's a little crazy, blah, blah, whatever. He'll make some comment. But then the conversation can open. Or I can even say something, I'm really, I'm doing this cleanse or whatever it may be. And you can have that conversation and invite the waitress. Oh, by the way, I have this fit club I run on Wednesday nights. Would you be interested? Blah, blah, blah. Or, I'm running this clean free group, or I have this ab challenge going on this week, whatever it may be, and you can invite them to that. We've done it in the airport. We've gotten customers, flight attendants. You wear your gear, you wear your P90X, your Insanity, and people ask. I make sure I make a shake on the plane, and I've shared with the flight attendants and gotten connections that way. And I know Denise has as well. And then those of you who have kids, your kids are in sports and activities, bring a beach bar with you. Drink your Energize, drink your Shakeology in front of the other parents while you're sitting at games. And then it can open the conversation there. But you have to have the stuff and not be afraid to share it and put it out there. Like I said before, the beach or different stores that we go to. Denise and I have met several people when we've gone to Athleta. It's a sports, fitness, health store. And we've just engaged with people in conversation there. You can teach classes. I teach fitness classes. So those of you who have gotten certified, find a place to teach a class, and that's where you start to meet people. You can volunteer in your local area, and that's a great way to get out and meet new people. And school, like through, if you go to school, I mean, I know Morgan, I don't think she's not on tonight. But she is in college right now. So even thinking about promoting or doing a little mini fit club, I know she's gotten a roommate to work out with her. The local coffee shop. If you frequent a local coffee shop, take your laptop and sit there. And sometimes you're going to see the same people coming in over and over again. And then you can start engaging. And then, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm working here. I work from home, blah, blah, blah. What do you do for work? And the conversation can open up. Maybe your bank, you go to the same banker and you can start to talk about that. An elevator, it works. How many times you get on the elevator and everybody's buried in their phones? Don't, just start talking to people. Oh my God, I love your shoes. Like, oh my God, your kids are so cute, whatever. But just start, even if you don't get the connection with somebody, practice engaging in conversation. Because then it's going to help you get out of your comfort zone and be more comfortable to actually talk to people. Because that's what our business is. We're building relationships. And if we're not talking to people, how are we going to build those relationships? All right. Those are like some examples that I have. Does anyone else, things come to mind of examples of how you're meeting people? Karen was just away on vacation. Got a great contact. Can you share that? How that happened?
Some of you saw some of my posts. I was working out, of course. I brought the bands to try to improvise with 21 Day Fix, the new one. She doesn't have any weights. So I was working out, instead of working out we're in a condo, in a timeshare. So instead of working out in the room where nobody would see me, I went out on the porch, on the balcony, which is like all shared by people. So there was some people walking by in my videos and I was just like moving out of the way and whatever, but the owner or the manager of the property saw me up there every morning outside exercising. Actually, she invited me to go to a class with her, like on that Wednesday. And I was going to go just to like develop the contact, but it just didn't work out. So then we were checking out, my mother came upstairs and said, she wants to talk to you about Shakeology. And I'm like, how did that come up? Because that was nothing that she would have seen from me. And I guess she and my mother were talking about the exercise, and my mother's definition is of Beachbody and what I do. Yeah, she does that Shakeology stuff. That's what she tells people. I'm like, well, Shakeology is a drink and not exercise, but okay, Mom, it got the door open. So it just went from there. So then I went down and I brought the bag. I had the bag. I was drinking my shakes while I was down there, and I had the whole bag. So I brought it down there so that she could see the ingredients, because my mother said she was going down. Sorry, they're talking, guys. This lady was going down the street to the smoothie shop or whatever and spending $10 3 times a week on a shake, which I don't even know if it had protein in it. It was just like a smoothie shop. So I don't know what she was drinking, but and she's vegan. So, and I drink vegan, which was perfect too. She was happy with that. Actually just followed up with her because I sent the share cart, ended up setting her up for a share cart. and then she hasn't finalized that. So I just sent her an email to follow up on that. But, you know, it was just, she saw me out there and just the conversation kind of went from there.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. But see, you guys, like it's just things like that that can happen, and then boom, you know. The biggest thing now, Karen, is you keep following up, keep following up. Did you actually give her shake to try?
I didn't, which was so stupid because I had the bag with me, but we were packing up to leave. So like I could have made a shake, but I didn't even think of that. She wasn't, I mean, she seemed very confident that she would do that. So, but it went to her work email, and I had links in it. So sometimes that ends up in spam. So I just sent her a regular email without any links today to say, just checking to make sure that you got my email. And then when I was there and I was posting my story in my Instagram stories, I tagged the as my location, the resort. So other people that follow that resort or follow Fort Lauderdale or different things, you know, will have seen that as well.
Awesome. Nice job. Did you get a phone number, or do you just have email contact?
I have her business card, so I have the work phone number. I don't have her personal information.
If I would, did you connect with her on Facebook?
I don't think she's even on Facebook.
Okay. So, I mean, maybe that's something to find out, but if you don't hear from her in a couple days, then I would pick up the phone and call.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to do that.
Why?
I'm not going to call somebody at work.
If she doesn't respond to your email at all, you will not call her?
Nope.
Why?
Because she's not interested.
Why do you
I'm
think?
not chasing.
But
What if the email went to her spam?
Right.
But the second email shouldn't have gone to her spam because there was no link in there.
But you don't know that. But you simply, all you're doing is providing good customer service. And she may be like, oh my God, I've been so busy. I never checked the email. Thank you so much for following up with me. I'm so glad that you did. Yes, I've been meaning to. I want to place that order. Don't make the decision for her.
No, but I'm, like I said in the chat, I'm not. Mm-mm. Like that's just me. Like to me, that's chasing, and I'm not doing that, and I'm okay with that. Because I would feel yucky. I wouldn't feel comfortable. Like, not that I'm uncomfortable. I would feel dirty for calling someone at work to ask about this.
But what if she didn't know to check her spam? And she's like, geez, I wish Karen would have messaged me about that. You know, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, I know. Then we both miss out. But what if I call her and it's gross?
But why does it have to be gross?
No, what if it is? That's the same. What if it isn't? That's the same.
So my question is, but if it is gross, what do you got to lose?
My mother has been going there for 25 years, and I don't want to ruin a like if I never met her, like I've met her before, I've known her like over years. If I didn't know her from a hole in the wall, I would call and I wouldn't care. Like I'd be like, whatever. But I don't want to interfere with a different relationship and get it icky.
Did you give her your contact information?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so there's no way, and it's very possible that if this is the first time that you're emailing, that it could have spam, and she could just be super busy.
Right, exactly. And she is that kind of person, because just trying to narrow her down on some other business we had to take care of took all week. But, you know, I mean, I think it just depends on the person. I'm not saying I would never call anyone. It just depends on different people and different relationships, I guess.
She recommended to you anything that could be that thing where you call her and say, listen, you mentioned a thing. Can you tell me what that was again? I tried emailing you, but ... instead of it being like, hey, is there anything in conversations that could be used as that I forgot? Can you remind me as a segue?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
I mean,
I think to Mike and Chris's point is you were genuine. You did your thing. She responded to it. If she didn't want you to contact her, she never would have given you her business card. She would have written down an email address and boxed off the phone number.
Did she ask for information about Shakeology? Did she say she was interested to purchase? Like, how did you get to a share cart?
Yeah, she said, how do I buy it? I said, I'll send you the link.
So then, yeah, she wants it. How could you not want to help her and make sure that she has this superfood shake instead of the shit down the street? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think it's good customer service. I think
but I can also see how Karen might think it's icky. If you have a story, Karen, from something that happened to you in the past where someone was calling you back, where you felt that way, I can see where you think that you might give that in return. And that's where the barriers are. And I think like what everyone's saying, and in my mindset, maybe because we're all wired different, if she gave you a business card, that's a wide open field. I go until I get like, hey, I'm good, man, leave me alone, versus no talking, you know what I mean? And assumptions, because we all do that. I'm guilty myself. We all do that. I would give it a couple days. I mean, everything's still kind of superficial.
Right.
You know, if you don't, I would even give it a week, you know, and if you don't hear anything back in a week, then I would call and say, hey, listen, I was just going through some of my stuff and I realized that you were really interested in Shakeology. I sent you a link. I didn't hear back from you. I'm just afraid that it went to maybe your spam. Do you have any further questions or that I could answer for you? And leave it at that. And you know, at least the communication's over.
Right.
You put the ball back in her court. And then if you don't hear anything, then don't worry about it. I mean, that versus never trying to reach out to her again because of the what ifs, you know.
Right.
And then when you're dealing with a family member, and I get that part, but if you just got home 2 days ago and you called her tomorrow morning,
Right. So this conversation happened on Friday. I sent her the link before we left within like 30 minutes. And then tonight, I sent her an email to follow up to make sure that she got the other one.
Then I would wait. Today's what, Tuesday? I'd wait till Friday. If you don't hear anything from Friday, maybe call, you know, think about it. And it doesn't have to be weird. Just say, hey, listen, you know, if you go into it with this sincerity, say, hey, listen, you know, I really felt like you're interested. You know, I love this stuff, and this, you know, it's been good for me. You know, I just wanted to make sure you got the information. That's all. If you want to look at it, you'll never hear from me again. I won't bother you. I just want to make sure that you got the information at
Right.
and then leave
Yeah,
it.
no, I hear you. I mean, the fact, like you said, I mean, I was thinking she gave me the business card because she was in a hurry, and that was faster than writing down information.
Mhm.
But you're
That's
right
an
in the
open
sense.
invitation. Yeah, it's an open invitation.
Right. I would say, but you're right in the sense that there's other ways to contact her based on that business card. So if she
Correct.
didn't want me to have it, she
Correct.
could have said, this is my email, and I could have written it down, or like she could have been less
You know
open.
what? Like I said, after a week, you know what? If you don't hear back from her, just move on. Just move
Right.
on and stuff.
Right. I mean, I can put her on my email list and whatever, just follow up with some other things, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How about this? No promises, but I'm not saying no.
All right, that's fair. I mean, and if you have any questions about it, if you want to role play, you know, call me or call Chris or something, and we'll just play it out, you know. And
Yeah.
you know,
I'll
even
just
I mean,
call for you, Karen.
What's that?
The Savage will just call for you.
She probably wouldn't even recognize a different voice.
Right? I know the story now. I'll do it for you.
I have a different
thanks.
spin. I have a different spin on cold market invites and speaking with people. And this is for all my IG people out there. Okay. Not Facebook, Instagram. Okay. What I've incorporated in conversations out in public is I no longer go for the email. I want to know your Instagram. And if you're not on Instagram, you're not part of my avatar right now. So that might be like kind of brass for a lot of people, But if you're on Instagram and you're using Instagram to grow your business and you get in a conversation with someone, they're not on Facebook and they're not on Instagram, it's not worth $32 commission, okay? It's just not worth it, okay? Because if you're going to be dealing with email, unless you have a job and deal with email. So what I do in a conversation when I'm talking to someone, I'll be like, hey, what's your Instagram? Okay? I get their Instagram or their Facebook. As soon as I walk away from that person, I'm going to the notes section of my phone and I'm typing in their name. We've already friended each other, or I'm already following that person before I even walk away. Okay, so now this gets back into Instagram stories and the importance of Instagram stories. Now you're going to see if this person starts watching your stories, and that's why it's so important, guys, to plug at least 7-10 stories per day, regardless of what you're doing. I talked about taking a dump today on my story, and I got more freaking messages from that post that it's irrelevant to the situation, but I can guarantee you everybody takes a dump. Okay, so that was relatable. And it made people laugh, and like I said, my engagement for that one stupid story, it created conversation. So just to reel everything back in, say for instance, I walk up to Josh, I see Josh at Walmart, and he's looking at, I don't know, new movies, and then we're talking about a movie or something. Oh, I really love that movie, blah 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 blah. Hey dude, are you on Instagram? Yeah, sure, man. What's your IG handle? Or whatever. Boom, done. Talk about the movie for a little bit. Now I'm following Josh. Josh following me. He looks at my stories. He sees that I'm into fitness. I did an invite. Now he might reach out that way. I had service done on my truck today at the Ford dealership. The guy who was the dealer, who I went in there from 4 months ago, he and I exchanged Instagram sites, whatever we want to call them, 4 months ago. And I walked in there today, and he's like, Mike, what's up? Hey, how's the this? And he started talking about stories from like the last 4 months. So that's what I'm talking about, guys. That's the importance of Instagram stories. You don't have to like go up to someone and ask them to marry you. Okay. It's doing the work. You're hitting the masses versus the individual one-on-one. And then you use those for the one-on-ones. And that way it's not icky and weird. And that's a really crappy feeling to have. Like Karen said, if you feel like you're selling someone, you're probably selling someone. And if it's icky and weird, nobody wants that feeling. So if you're sharing something that you're passionate about and they're showing interest, and you got to know that body language, you run with it. Okay. You run with it until they tell you, hey, listen, I'm getting a restraining order. That you got to have that kind of mentality a little bit. So, but I just wanted to throw that little Instagram spin on it versus like back in the day, it was all about get the email. Do not walk away from that conversation without the email. Today, 2019, do not walk away with that conversation without connecting it with each other on Instagram. Perioso, I'm telling you.
Go ahead, Kels.
So I'm really proud of myself. I made a connection the other day at a work event. So the work event was for kids with special needs, but there was a guy that was he had animals. I'm sure if you watched my Instagram story, you saw this dude, and he had animals. And before it got started, I was working in that room, and he was the type of person that was just telling me his whole life. And he's going on America's Ninja Warrior. I don't know. He's going on that show, and he's like, whatever, talking about how he does all this crazy fitness stuff. And I was like, oh yeah. And I got his name, and then I stalked him on Instagram and added him. And we've been going back and forth talking ever since. But it was just a connection, and I was proud of myself for doing that.
Awesome job, Kels. I'm proud of you.
I don't normally do that kind of stuff.
But once you do it and you start doing more of it, it does get easier. But if you keep hiding and then it's not gonna change, and you're not gonna get out of your comfort zone until you practice, right?
There's also a way to do it like your own way. Like I would never go about it the way that you and Denise do it, because that's just not my personality.
Right.
I've seen you guys in action, and I'm like, holy crap, like can't do that. But like I have sat next to people at like a bar and said, oh, are you on Facebook? And then, once you start talking to them, then you just add them on Facebook or Instagram. But yeah, I want Denise to tell the Florida story by the pool.
Oh, the girl we met at the pool?
Yeah, well, you met her. I
It's
didn't.
still going back and forth. Well, Eddie will
Eddie.
take credit for that. But yeah, we were at the pool in Lauderdale waiting to get on the boat the day before, and Eddie started a conversation with this young couple sitting at the pool. And then I walked over, and he was like, "Oh, this is my wife. I told you," because she saw all of us together, and she knew we were all like coaches. And I don't know if she knew we were coaches, but she knew we were all together as a group. So we just started telling them everything and talking about it. And she's like, "Oh, I've done Beachbody before, and I've done 21 Day Fix." And I go, "Well, there's Autumn sitting right over there." And she was just like, "Oh my God." Like she was like all into it and stuff. So, they're getting married in this summer and all these things. They were well educated. They lived in Nebraska. So I'm like, "Oh, I got to, let's friend each other on Facebook and you guys can see our cruise pictures." So right away, she had a really weird spelling of her name. So I just give them my phone. I go, "Here, find yourself." I always do that. Do you guys do that? I just think it's easier. It's like, okay, why don't you just find yourself? They find it and they click their name and they click add friend. I go, "All right, awesome. I'll friend you, And we've been back and forth, and she told me she wanted to switch to me as a coach while we were on the cruise. And we're still going back and forth, and she's really bad about answering messages. And she wrote to me like 3 days ago, like, "Yeah, I really want to get Shakeology from you." I'm like, okay, like I tell her what to do, like, let's connect, and I'm keep waiting for her to, I have to keep, it's weird. Like we haven't like sealed the deal yet, but she said she's interested in changing, but it was, it's funny. It's just like, you just try to get them on Facebook and just see what's going on with their life. And then you can always keep reaching out and making comments and, so.
And I think that's
Denise,
it.
Denise, can I give you a little tip?
Yeah.
You're connected with her on Facebook, right?
Yeah. She's
Take
not
her-
on Instagram. I looked for her.
Okay. You got her email address?
No.
Is her email address on her Facebook? Go
I
to
don't
go,
know.
go to her about section.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a little work, guys. This is some of the nerd Beachbody stuff I'm going to teach you real quick. All right. So you guys are already connected on Facebook. She's already stated that she wants you to be her coach.
Right.
This is the detective work. I would go to her Facebook, search the about section, and see if you can find her email address, which is probably in there.
Yeah.
Take her email address, go to share a cart. Okay. Put her email address in share a cart, and her name populates. She has another coach.
Right.
Okay.
I think she does. She told me.
Okay. Okay. But once you got that, okay, now you go to Beachbody FAQ, or you go back to her Facebook and you find out what town she lives in. Okay. Then you go to Google search that town and state, and you find the zip code. Then you go to Beachbody events and you go customer to coach change. You be the customer. You put in all her information, and then you can just put your coach stuff, submit. She's your customer.
Yeah, but don't you need to have her?
No, you need her
Shipping
email and billing zip code.
That's it.
That's
Email
it?
code,
That's
yeah.
it. That's how you get that customer tonight, without even having to
Then
word.
you send a share cart with Shakeology, and if she wants to change the flavor, she can change the flavor.
That's why I never do it, because I always want to know what their flavor is before I do the share cut.
Coaches, please, please, please never put the job of someone wanting to switch to you as their coach in their hands. Do it for them so you know it's done right. All you need is their email and billing zip code. And you.
Well, I asked her for that info. I'm like, "Hey, all you need to do is give me your this, and this, and I'll make the switch. I'll do it for you." And she hasn't replied.
Yeah, she's not gonna.
So
But-
I don't know.
That it's the detective work. It's part of the
right, I'll
the
try to
Beachbody
find it.
handbook. Yeah, the Beachbody handbook. They don't tell you what to do. Okay, these are some of the things, but never put it in their hands. If you have their email address, it's easy to find out what town they live in if you're connected on Facebook, because it's probably in the about section.
Yeah.
And then just Google search the town and state, and you can find the zip code pretty easily.
But if she's connected to another coach, okay, yeah, I'll try.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's why you got to plug the email address in BOD, because if the name automatically populates, they have another coach. And that's the only reason why you're doing that. And then you
Right.
just get out of share a cart, and then you do the customer coach, and you pretend to be the customer.
Customer, right? Yeah. Okay.
Do you have her cell phone or just Facebook?
Just Facebook.
So then I would, next time you're on Facebook, just say, is texting easier? And then say, if so, what's your number? And then that way you have another form of communication. That's why it's real important to have some sort of follow-up system, because this person, Karen's person, Denise's person, are both interested. They didn't say I'm not interested. They said they're interested. So you never take them off your list. You never not follow up. They should be on your follow-up list every 2 days, once a week, and you keep checking in with them. And it could be a simple thing like, oh, how was your Easter? Oh, I saw pictures of your family. Great. That's what my follow-up is this week with the majority of my people. I hit like on their pictures of their family pictures because the majority of people have posted pictures. And then I said, looks like you had a great holiday. I love your family pictures. I'm not saying, oh, did you look at the Ultimate Portion Fix info group? No, I'm just going to comment on something on their Facebook first. And then that's what your follow-up is. Sometimes your follow-up does not have to be Beachbody related. Your follow-up can be simply, how are you doing? You know how many times I write that? And then I just started this conversation with this one person who works at a gym in Boston. And I said to her, do they use supplements there? She said, no, they use outside vendors. I said, well, do you? And she goes, vitamins. I said, would you be interested to learn more about the supplements I use? I've only had minimal conversation. She goes, sure. Send me information. You know what I mean? We're providing services. If you believe in our products and what we have to offer people, then why are you holding on to it and not sharing it? Don't be afraid.
Yep.
Until someone literally pulls this restraining order, like Mike said. Seriously, though. And I know, Brian, you said I'm a savage. And you know what? I've built a huge business being a freaking savage. So, and a 6-figure income. So, it can be done. But I have a lot of people, the majority of the people that I've followed up with over and over again, shut the door in my face. No, I probably had one bad experience. Other than that.
I think I know that bad experience too.
Yeah. I don't
Dude.
know.
I got one more creeper tip. Who wants it? I already gave it to a lot of you this week. I went live and maybe some of you didn't see it. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Okay. So this is a super simple creeper tip. Safe. Every day, go on your Facebook and go to On This Day or Memories, whatever it's called. Okay. And scroll all the way down to the bottom. And it says, on this day, you friended Christina Johnson 7 years ago. Deborah Shallow 6 years ago. And message that person. You have an option to hit the message button. And it said something like friendversary. And you send that person a message. Hey, I just saw that you and I have been friends for 7 years. How have you been? I haven't had a conversation with you in a while. How have you been the last 7 years? Or just how have you been if you don't want to be weird about it? Keep it short, sweet, and open-ended. Send. I've re-engaged conversations all week doing that. And it's super simple. And it's just about as easy as sending a happy birthday video to people whose birthdays. It just separates you from the pack. Okay? So that's my other creeper stalker tip. To engage conversation with cold market within your Facebook.
And don't forget those and birthdays every day. Do those birthdays. That's why Joan Marconi's sitting here right now.
Yeah, and don't post a happy birthday on their wall.
No.
Send them
Private.
a video message. Video yourself for less than 20 seconds singing happy birthday. It's weird. You can use the filters. I use the Elvis filter.
I can see you doing that. So Josh, was this helpful? Is this what you were looking for?
Yeah, definitely. I think, the tough thing for me isn't necessarily talking to people or introducing myself to people, but it's doing the plug of follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, that kind of stuff. Cause I think I just generally forget sometimes. And then also I've been considering becoming a Beachbody Live instructor to kind of take my business to the next level and, meet people that way. So if anyone's done that and has, some feedback, that'd be great.
Joan, can you share a little bit about what you're going to be doing and how you're meeting people?
So I live at Pleasant Valley, and so it's a villas, community. And I'm also, I golf at PV. and they have a new management team and decided to open up a fitness center, to take one of the rooms offline and create a fitness center. So I messaged the woman and said, hey, I was kind of like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach out to her. Don't think twice. Reached out to her and she said, oh my God, everyone's mentioned your name to me. I didn't know how to find you. Yes. So I've met with her now 3 times. We've developed a schedule. We've developed, I'm throwing out pricing. Like I know what to charge for these classes. So one question I have, they have a bar area, in the room. And she said, eventually we'd like to do shakes. Can I sell?
Yes.
Is-
Yes. So
Yes.
Yeah. So they can either purchase the bags from you as a customer, and then they sell the shake for, they can't sell it less than what you pay for. So it's got to be at least $5 or whatever. And they charge $5 for it. So unless they're thinking of you personally selling the shake, you could do it that way too.
All right, let me go offline with you because I want to give them a couple options and I want to make sure I'm up and up.
Yeah,
with,
we can talk about that.
each bar. But yeah, so we're having an open house in a couple of weeks and I'm going to be wearing my spandex and but it's
What are
fun
you going to
because-
be? Are you going to be teaching, or are you going to be showing
Yeah.
videos?
No, I'm going to be teaching 3 classes a week.
Teaching what?
Well, I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it strength and tone. So
Are you certified in any of the BB Live ones?
yes, in quarter force, but that seems a little aggressive for this 55 plus community, which I'm almost part of. And I'm just going to leave it out there. Like we're going to do a survey and stuff, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. But
Cool.
jump in.
Can't wait to show up.
Oh God. Yeah, it's Sunday nights at 11. That's when my class is.
She could do
But I'm
it there
psyched.
too, right? And just stream.
What's that?
You could just do Fit Club there and stream from BOD,
I definitely can. I want.
right? Because if you're only certified in quarter force, then that's the only one that you would be teaching per se, right?
Right, but I'm going to try to incorporate some other things. I do have that as a backup, but I'm going to try to do something a little bit more.
I would do Fit Club and show them all the different options, because then if those times for those classes don't work out, or they want to work out on the other days of the week at home, then this is the platform that they could use, and you can get BOD subscribers that way.
True. Their offer, that's a great idea, and that was my initial thought. And actually, that's what I told them, that I needed a monitor and a projector and all that stuff. And they kind of not pushed me, but they were like, well, we're going to be charging people for these classes. We want to have them have, sort of a live, real instructor. And I described how I do fit when I've done Fit Club. We're projecting it and I'm walking around helping people with form. So it's still a work in progress, but
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
Anybody else have anything else before we wrap up?
I got something that's
I'm
not-
thinking about,
Go ahead.
oh, sorry, I'm thinking about approaching at least one local gym to see what they offer their customers for nutritional support, and see if I can work in Ultimate Portion Fix somehow, as either whether it be posters or flyers, or have an informational session or something to get involved, with the nutrition aspect with the gym.
I mean, you gotta just put yourself out there. You don't know. You know what? That just reminded me too. My friend owns her own spa, and I'm gonna and I know she's done some different promotions. So I'm gonna talk to her about the whole nutrition piece, so I can go and just talk about Portion Fix and set up a whole table. But you guys as well, if you have go into a spa, that's all health related, and see if you can do like a nutritional seminar one night or one afternoon. So if if there's a particular place that you go get your massage, pedicure, manicure, see if they'll do like an evening and do an event, is another option too. All right, that's all I have. Hopefully this was helpful, you guys, but just trying to think out of the box. Look up the memory jogger in the FAQ. You can find, that should be somewhere in there. And if you guys are, kind of struggle, what happened? Mike. Sorry. And if you guys are struggling with when you kind of start those conversations and you don't know where to go with it, I'm happy to. I'm sure, Denise has been doing it long enough. Mike's been doing it long enough. Like, send me the conversation, and we're happy to kind of like give you a response. I've done this with a lot of you guys, and you kind of get stuck and you're like, I don't know what to say. What should I say? How do I follow up now? Now what's my next step? So that type of stuff, I'm more than happy to do that with you guys. So please, just please reach out. And hopefully this was helpful. And like I said, you guys, out in public, kind of put the phones down, do a little bit more listening and observing. That can put you in a place to kind of open up and engage and meet people that way. So thanks, you guys, for being on. I appreciate it. And I'm going to stop the recording right now.